Good evening and welcome to the programme. The Metropolitan Police is considering plans to use positive discrimination when recruiting new officers. Scotland Yard has confirmed this would mean a white officer could only be hired if a person from a black or ethnic minority background was recruited at the same time. It's aimed at narrowing the divide between the ethnic makeup of the police and London as a whole. Our political correspondent Carl Mercer has been looking at the plans and whether we've heard it all before. Plenty more tonight, including an academy head teacher at the centre of a financial mismanagement row has resigned. BBC London has learnt that Jo Shooter offered her resignation this afternoon after 11 years at Quintin Kynaston Academy in St John's Wood. It follows an 8-month investigation into the school's finances, which found she'd spent thousands of pounds on taxis, hotels and her own birthday party. Our reporter Mark Ashdown has been following developments and is here. So what more do we know, Mark?
Well, firstly, Jo Shooter's position had become untenable. She recognised that she had to go. As you say, she was reinstated after that 8-month investigation, but then a Department for Education audit into the finances exposed the full extent of these alleged financial mismanagements. Taxis booked for her, her family and other staff, expensive hotels for management meetings, £7,000 on her own birthday party at school, friends and relatives employed by her, money for public speaking diverted to her personally, and some expenses even claimed for twice. Now, she said in a statement it was a difficult decision and she resigns with sadness and regret.
Still many unanswered questions, though.
Critics of the Academy model will say this raises questions over giving more freedom to heads over the finances. Is this the kind of abuse that it can lead to? OK, Mark, many thanks. Next, the Mayor's being asked to consider allowing tube stations to be sponsored in a bid to freeze fares. Transport bosses have dismissed the idea as too costly, but Conservative members of the London Assembly say private investment could raise £136 million and prevent any fare increases for a year. Here's our transport correspondent, Tom Edwards. The London Ambulance Service has been giving evidence at the inquest into the death of Jimmy Mubenga, who died after being restrained by 3 G4S security guards. He was on a plane at Heathrow being deported to Angola in 2010. A 22-year-old man has appeared in court charged with the murder of an elderly woman who died in a flat fire in South London last week. People living near dried up and polluted rivers are being urged to apply for government cash so that they can clean them up themselves. Ministers argue that the £1.6 million scheme will save taxpayers' money, but critics say it doesn't go far enough and want a campaign to cut down on the amount of water we use. Yvonne Hall has more. So, it was the news Chelsea fans had been hoping for nearly 6 years. Jose Mourinho will return as manager on a 4-year contract. It's 100 years since the death of the suffragette Emily Wilding Davison. She died after running in front of the King's Horse at the Epsom Derby. After her death, 6,000 women dressed in white marched through the streets of London in her honour, an event which is to be reenacted in her memory, as Sarah Harris reports.
A woman runs out, there is a fall.
He's produced some of the most politically challenging drama documentaries, including Cathy Come Home and Kes. Now, the British Film Institute is marking 50 years of Tony Garnett's productions by showcasing his career highlights. Our arts correspondent Brenda Manis met the London-based filmmaker to find out what inspires him. The Queen and 2,000 guests will attend a service at Westminster Abbey tomorrow to mark the 60th anniversary of her coronation. Among them, 3 choristers who sang for Her Majesty back in 1953. They performed as part of the Children of the Chapel Royal and have been reliving the memory of that special day with our reporter Victoria Hollins. Well, Wendy's outside Westminster Abbey for us this evening. A reminder of the headlines to men. And that's all we've got time for this evening. Join me again during the 10 o'clock news with the latest from London. Until then, from all the team here, thanks very much for watching, and whatever you're up to, do enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.